Staying on that story, let's now cross to our SABC News reporter, Samkele Maseko, who's in Nasrec to tell us a little bit more about this. It's a big moment, Samkele, for the EFF going into this conference with a lot that's been happening leading up to it. A drop in their election results. I'm sure they were expecting much better. A lot of key members leaving the EFF. Talk to us about perhaps the background and build up to this particular conference.
Indeed, and the Economic Freedom Fighters goes into this third National People's Assembly in seemingly what is a back foot electorally. It all started on the 29th of May after the outcomes of those general elections when the MK party, whom has invited the Economic Freedom Fighters to their first anniversary at the Moses Mabhida Stadium on Sunday, which the EFF has rejected and will not be part of it, where this particular party has now inflicted electoral pain on the EFF. You do know that they politically obliterated the EFF in KwaZulu-Natal, but in the words of Julius Malema, at their particular anniversary in the Northern Cape, he did say that the provincial leadership of the EFF, led by Mongezi Twala, the provincial chairperson of the EFF in KwaZulu-Natal, they fought in KwaZulu-Natal in the vastness of that province with little resources against an MK party that blindsided the Economic Freedom Fighters. The MK has launched an onslaught on the EFF, poaching some of their members. You remember just this week, a former member of the EFF and a member of parliament of the EFF switched and went to the MK party. The former deputy president of the EFF, Floyd Nyuko-Shivambu, left the party and went to this particular MK party. But this particular National People's Assembly of the EFF is about rebuilding of this July 26 movement that was formed on the backdrop of the expulsion of Julius Malema from the ANC and ultimately after the Marikana massacre, that over the past 11 years of the existence of the EFF, their highest moment was when they filled to capacity and to the brim the FNB stadium on the eve of the national general elections of the country. That would be the previous year, last year, when the EFF filled that particular FNB stadium. What was the highlight of the Economic Freedom Fighters from there onwards? It was somewhat of a downward turn, particularly on the outcomes of the 29th of May elections and ultimately their members being poached by other political formations. You've seen the hypnosis and the prognosis of what the EFF has deemed, and through their research of what happened in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, how they were also dealt an internal blow by some of their members who gave wrong reports of what was happening in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. You've also seen some of the repercussions that EFF provincial and regional structures have had to deal with after their poor performance on the 29th of May. You look at the Bujanala region of the Economic Freedom Fighters in the Northwest Province. Julius Malema has had to say, how do you lose 25,000 votes in a stronghold of the Economic Freedom Fighters in that Rustenburg Bujanala area? You go to the Limpopo province, there was an overhaul of the provincial leadership of the EFF within that particular province. Lawrence Mapo was brought in as the convener of the EFF within that particular province to try and change the electoral fortunes of the Economic Freedom Fighters, whom they are on a rebuilding phase of this particular movement. The leader of the EFF will deliver that political report, which will highlight the achievements of the EFF in the past 11 years of the existence of this particular movement, highlight some of the downturns and the most difficult period of which the EFF went through when its own former deputy president, a founder of this particular movement, decided to ditch the EFF for the MK party.
All right, Samkele Maseko, thank you very much. Keeping an eye, a very close eye, on that EFF gathering over the next 3 days. So we'll get another update from Samkele. In fact, we'll cross into him throughout the program this morning.